few years ago, I was on a break at work, and it was in between open for inspections. So I was selling houses. I went back to the office and it was a Sunday, and I noticed as I drove in that there was a crow on the road. Huge crow, like big. As far as they go, crow, ravens. I'm still confused at what they're called in Australia. I'll call them crows for the time being. It was dead on the road. And as I rounded the corner, parked my car, got out of the car, I looked up, and I'm talking like an L shape row of buildings, and it's just like a small shopping centre out in a suburban town. And there was literally 400 to 500 crows all perched up, crying or crowing. They're beautiful crow. It was like they were mourning the king of the crows. He was dead, or maybe they were all happy he was dead. I get the feeling it was mournful. They were desperately sad over this one crow, but it wasn't. It was no small thing. Like, I'm talking 400 to 500 crows all there mourning this crow. It was unbelievable. Like, it was eerie, but not scary. Definitely an experience to see. My next experience with crows was I'd see them in twos, always when I was up to no good or doing something perhaps I shouldn't have been doing, or feeling something that, it wasn't right. I would see crows. When I was doing things that were balanced, I guess you could say, I'd see magpies, which is the black and the white bird. So this is all, yin, yang, black, white, duality. It's where I'm at now, learning about duality. The crows were the next time. This is what really got me realizing what the crows were actually symbolizing for me and where they stand in my life. I do see them as a totem for me. They give me information, they provide warning. There were crows out the front of my house, and they was on the balcony, and they crowed and crowed until I came outside and said, what is it? They flew off the balcony and went and flew into the trees, and still looked at me and started crowing. Continued to crow, and then they just flew off. About 30 seconds later, the ground shook, and there was an earthquake. Not a major one or anything, like just a tremor. Whole house shook, everything. But it made me realize that the crows were there as a warning. The next thing with crows, I started to see them at the beach. I was hanging out with this person who I'd recently just met, and coming from a relationship that wasn't so good, and meeting a new person while I was kind of in the same kind of vibration, even though it was a few years later. The crows came to the beach. That's not where crows go. They're supposed to go. You expect to see seagulls at the beach, but no, there were crows. And it's just a bit of a warning for me that person is perhaps a little bit dangerous and not meant to be in my life, or if they are, keep them at a distance, or anyway, but they are warnings for me, and I've got a deep affiliation. Anytime there's anything going on, I keep getting interference from these crows. It's unbelievable. It's so magical, and I'm so grateful to have them as my totem.